Alright guys, it's Dan, also known as Dan B. Today we're going to do a breakdown of my track, mutually exclusive for Waterside. So yeah, let's get stuck in. Okay guys, so quite a lot going on in this track. Here are the drums. I'll just show you how that sounds. Just to start, we've got the kick, probably the most important drum. Kick pattern here, pretty standard 4 on the floor. So usually when I'm mixing kind of two kicks together, I usually like to have a beefier kick doing the low end. 909, super nice for that kind of stuff. For the top kick, I'll just roll off the low end. I'll also get rid of a lot of the release as well. That kind of makes sure that we don't really get any phasing issues between the two kicks. That's just the top kick there by itself. That's just the 909 and together. Pro Q here, just doing some pretty basic EQ. Sidechain, I just do a separate channel for it. So I usually use something super short, like a rim, the same pattern as the kick. I've got a little reverse kick here. Before the drops it in, that little reverse, just going into the main kick. Super nice. So onto the clap. Again, just like the kick, I usually like to have a couple layers going on, 2, sometimes 3 with claps. That little listen. I usually play in my drums, especially with the claps. I like one of them to be slightly out with the other one. Got a bit of ozone imager on one of them, just making them wider. Bit of EQA, decapitator. Just kind of beefs them up quite a bit. Vintage verb. This is my go-to reverb pretty much, a little before and after. Yeah, that's like super dry. Yeah, just a little bit of reverb on there. We've got a few snares here. These are kind of like side snares. So it was quite fun listening to them out of context because it just sounds like random drums if you listen to it with the beat. They're all just kind of doing their little bit to kind of fill in the gaps. We've got a little closed hat here. And I'm just getting rid of some of the peaks here, usually around that 8K region in hats. Stuff can build up quite a lot. Onto the main hat now. So I've got quite a few layers going on, 3 kind of layered on top of each other. Usually with the hats, the beginning of the track, I'll only have a couple of them playing, and then I'll kind of bring in more hats as the track progresses. We've got a little closed hat, then open one on top of that. So these are playing when the hats come in the track. And then we'll have another hat come in here as the track kind of builds up. And then we've got this one in between. Again, by itself doesn't sound like much, but in context, really nice when you've got like a bunch of hats layered onto each other. I just kind of chuck this on decapitator to join everything together quite nicely and saturate a little bit. These are the drums kind of during the intro and verse, and then when the drop hits, we've got this big ride coming in. That's bringing a lot of the energy in the drop. Decimort's doing a lot of work on this ride, so without it, it's just quite like decent sounding ride, but then with it, a lot crunchier, a little bit darker. Also got a phaser on there and micro shift, just making it nice and wide. I've got a little drum loop here. So it is just a little something that's kind of, yeah, again, just keeping the groove going. The clave is that it's the first drum that comes in. I just wanted to have a little thing that just came in straight away. Bit of auto pan as well, just to keep it kind of moving around quite slowly. I've also got some shakers here. Use Skaka for these. Really love this plugin. Very natural sounding percussion stuff. Essentially means I don't really have to use percussion loops anymore. I can just kind of use this. I've also got crashes, so I like to keep my crashes in my drum group so that when I've got all the processing on the drums and the crash hits, it kind of crunches. I'm going to quickly show you my drum bus. Just got a glue compressor, light compression, bit of a sidechain filter, 1178, This is really cool. It's like an 1176 kind of thing, just slightly different. Without it, you can kind of hear that the drums, they're cool, but like the parallel compression kind of brings this energy to it. It's quite fun. Probably the most important thing in all of my drums is saturation. Saturn is my go-to warm tape. Yeah, it's just kind of bringing everything together, crunching it up nicely, a little bit of soothe. Not doing too much, just taking off a little bit. So that is all the drums. So yeah, we're going into the intro synth now. This is the MIDI for the chords. So it is basically the OPXA, pretty much my go-to synth currently. The main plugin that's doing a lot of work here is the Tremolator by Sound Toys. So without it, it is quite a long kind of drawn out synth. And with the Tremolator, I've just got a little pattern going on here where I've just muted some of them. Phase mistress as well. Doing a nice bit of phasing there. Bit of Pro Q as well. Sidechain compressor. That's on pretty much all the channels except for the drums themselves. Got a fun little lead here. So this is only happening during the kind of intro and verse bits. It's a nice bouncy kind of lead. Nice and fun. So yeah, bass for this one. Just using Sublab for this. This kind of groove with the drums and the bass is, I think, one of the first things I came up with in the track. When the drop hits, it's just kind of following the notes of the piano, just to keep it quite kind of groovy and fun. With that second phrase still the same. So we just do a bit of piano and bass. So we are on to probably the most important part of the track, definitely the most recognizable one, which is of course the piano. So we've got two main clips for the piano, longer, more sustained chords, and then we've got the played in, more rhythmic main part. So I'm gonna have a go at playing these in, see how that goes. Main kind of chords. Almost full speed. Yeah, the chord progression, it's a bit all over the place. It's basically just a combination of like minor ninths, minor 11ths in, love the sound of a minor 11th, and a few other ones. So yeah, for the sound of the piano, addictive keys, the electric grand, usually the kind of Korg M1 piano is the classic for piano house, but just keeping things a little bit different. Quite a few things going on here processing wise. Got 1178 again, doing quite a bit of compression, got a bit of decimal here, and Saturn as well. You can hear they're doing quite a bit. We've got Pro Q doing a few bits. Just kind of cutting some of the low mids, bringing up the sides as well, taming any peaks, side chain, keeping it all pumping. So what I've got going on here is just, I've got this in a group with a few other synths. Got a filter and a vintage verb to kind of push the sound far away as it kind of builds up into the drop. So we've got that reverb going up. And then that filter starts going up. Yeah, a little fun thing that goes on here, the drop comes in on the 3. So you've got the 1, 2, 3. That was actually a mistake. That's because I forgot to just like turn the filter back onto the 1. So I just thought I'd keep the filter open for the first kind of 2 hits. We've got the lead now. It's actually wavetable. So yeah, here's the lead. Got black box on it. It's just another saturator. Bit of an auto pan, and the lead comes in the same way that the drop initially comes in. It comes in on the 3. That's kind of a bit of a theme that kind of continues throughout the track. So those first 2 notes are kind of soloed. Then the rest of the drums come in. So if we just kind of grab keys and the lead as well, got a nice little combination of notes going on. Cool, so we're looking at the vocals now. I definitely wanted to keep them quite dark and weird. Obviously with the main piano riff, it's quite kind of in your face, kind of piano house kind of vibe. So I really wanted to contrast that with some darker vocals, just really play on the concept of contrast with this track. So it's got 3 kind of different clips that it alternates between. This is the first one. Got this one. And we've got this one. In context. Loads of processing going on here. Little altar boy doing a bit of an LFO on the formant. Shifter again doing some shifting. Got the auto filter painstakingly kind of drew in and out. Super side chained as well. Echo boy. Ping pong delay. Vintage verb with the reverb. Yeah, echo boy and vintage verb are kind of my go-to delay reverb combo. I just think they're really nice. So yeah, that's kind of something that's just going on throughout the track, keeping it interesting. And then here we've got a third vocal, spoken word. Just says, I just want you to stay. There's also a filter going on, but it's a little bit, one will be a bit more closed. Next one will be open. And the next one will be closed again. Kind of like the hypnotic vibe of just a constantly repeating phrase, kind of inspired by that Bicep track, Just, I think. So if we select all these vocals, we can see how they take turns in happening. Here we've just got breakdown chords. Again, it's just the same chord progression, just with a different sound. Using ableton's Synth for this. Really nice synth. Again, just a bit of black box, phase mistress. You can kind of see a trend. Just got a little drone here, OPX again, and it's got a filter on it. Super dark, closer reverb. Cool, so that's all the elements. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But yeah, mixing this track was a bitch, to be honest. I've kind of been chatting about what I add as I go, but I mainly just do EQ on most channels, a bit of saturation. I've just got a short reverb and delay that I'll be using on drum channels mainly. And I've also got a side chain on the sends, just so that the delay and the reverbs are also pumping with everything. That's it pretty much in terms of mixing. I try not to add too much. I mainly focus on levels more than anything. Just the final thing to mention here, I've got a few reference tracks here for mixing. It's definitely something that I found helps me a lot, just to make sure I'm in the right kind of ballpark. I've just got a little reference folder here of some of my favorite tracks, and I'll just kind of pick ones that work with whichever track I'm making. So got a couple crackers at tracks here. Obviously he definitely inspired this track. Going On by Envoy. This one's not a piano house track, but it's just got a really great mix. Paul Wolford remix. This one is a nice piano house track. And as always, gotta have a Disclosure track in there. Their mixes are just insanely good. So yeah, that's the track pretty much. In terms of mastering, I don't master my own tracks. I just kind of mixed it as well as I could. Whichever label I'm releasing with will deal with the mastering. Cool. So yeah, that's been a breakdown of Mutually Exclusive. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. This has been super fun. Yeah, enjoyed watching loads of like production streams and stuff during the lockdown, a lot of breakdowns. So it's nice to be in the hot seat for once. I hope you learned something, and massive thank you to Waterside for the opportunity. It's been super fun. Yeah, in terms of new music, Ooh, featuring Alex Bone that you might have heard being played out by the likes of Disclosure and a few others, will be out soon. Not sure yet, but definitely soon. So yeah, stay tuned in, and thanks for that.